What you really want when you say you want recurring revenue. You don't just want to check a box or say you have a subscription or payment plan or a membership in place just to say that you have it. You want it because you're tired of the roller coaster ride. 1 month feels incredible and the bank account is full and you can cover all of your expenses. The next month, it feels like you're starting from zero again and scrambling around trying to figure out what you're going to do. And that kind of inconsistency is exhausting. You want to be able to look ahead and actually plan like a real business owner, to know what's coming in, to know what you're building towards, and to have income that continues even when you're not actively selling every single day. Hey there, and welcome to the Life and Business on Purpose podcast, where purpose meets profit and mindset meets strategy. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former kindergarten teacher turned online business coach, mom of 2 really cool boys, and the creator of the Momentum Method. Through this 3-phase method over the past 2.5 years, I have helped dozens of women build values-aligned, profitable businesses without working 40+ hours a week, so they get to enjoy their business and live their lives on purpose. Around here, we do business differently because we believe success isn't about hustling to prove ourselves. We don't believe in rigid formulas or chasing someone else's version of success. It's about channeling perfection into power, moving with unstoppable trust in life and business, and leading with strategy that actually fits your life. Let's build your life and business on purpose together, one episode at a time. Here we go. Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I am so glad that you are here today, and I am so excited to dive into the topic of recurring revenue in your online coaching business, because most coaches think recurring revenue comes from more products, more low ticket sales, more hustle. But what if the reason you're working so hard is because you keep splitting your time between a whole bunch of different offers instead of just stacking demand? Today, we are going to flip this. I'm Sandy Patterson, former elementary school teacher turned online business coach for women who are ready to lead themselves and build businesses that support their lives instead of running it. I help recovering perfectionists and people pleasers release the pressure to get everything just right and grow through aligned strategy, rock solid self-trust, and leadership that actually feels like you, because your business should be the vehicle that allows you to live life on your own terms and on purpose with the people you love, not the thing that takes over your time, your energy, and your identity. Now, before we dive in, if you're working hard, posting constantly, and still not seeing the clients or the cash flow that you would expect, here's your next step. You can book a completely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. Together, we're going to take an honest look at your current business and life structure, identify what's slowing you down, and map out the simple fixes that are going to lead to more clients, more consistency, and more results without more grind, okay? The link is waiting for you in the show notes for that. And if you already know you want deeper support and you are ready to move now, you can apply for my mastermind space or for private coaching using the links in the show notes, okay? Now, let's talk about that all elusive recurring revenue inside your online coaching business and what you really want when you say you want recurring revenue. You don't just want to check a box or say you have a subscription or payment plan or a membership in place just to say that you have it. You want it because you're tired of the roller coaster ride. 1 month feels incredible and the bank account is full and you can cover all of your expenses. The next month, it feels like you're starting from zero again and scrambling around trying to figure out what you're going to do. And that kind of inconsistency is exhausting, not just financially, but also emotionally. You want to be able to look ahead and actually plan like a real business owner, to know what's coming in, to know what you're building towards, and to have income that continues even when you're not actively selling every single day. You want clients who stay longer, who deepen with you, and who create results that you're proud to stand behind, not just quick purchases, but long-term relationships and long-term life-changing wins. And at the core, you really want some breathing room. You want to wake up and feel steady instead of scrambling all over the place. And you want your business to feel like it is supporting your life, not consuming it. You want to be able to take a weekend off with your family without feeling like everything's going to fall apart. And you want to know that the effort you put in today is compounding, not evaporating at the end of every month. Now, recurring revenue represents safety, freedom, spaciousness in your life and your business, and self-trust. It means that your business is working even when you're not posting or working constantly. And it means you can create from overflow instead of urgency. And it means you can build, refine, and grow instead of just constantly trying to stay afloat. Now, let's talk about where things go awry for a lot of coaches who say they want to build recurring revenue in their businesses. I see this happen often, coaches doing the opposite of what actually creates stability. I see them launching low-ticket offers every time they need a little bit of cash, piecing together one-off sales or low-ticket offers and quick injections of income with short-term offers, hoping the next program, the next idea, the next post is the thing that's going to be the one that finally makes things blow up. And for a second, yes, it feels like momentum. A few sales come in, people respond, you get that hit of excitement, but then it's gone and you're right back at square one building the next thing. You're splitting your focus between a bunch of different offers and ideas instead of actually stacking demand. So you're spending your energy creating instead of compounding, attracting buyers who pop in once but don't stay long enough to create those long-term results or long-term revenue, right? And every new offer means a whole new round of selling, explaining, justifying, messaging, content, and building belief from scratch, essentially. It looks productive, but it's actually not sustainable. And it keeps you busy, but it's not keeping you booked out. And it may keep revenue coming in or quick cash injections, but not repeating that and not long term. And here's the most important part. When you're always selling something new, your audience never gets the chance to associate you with one clear transformation, especially in the beginning. You become the coach with lots of options, not the coach with the offer that is known for a specific transformation. Now, recurring revenue doesn't come from variety. It comes from clarity and from depth. From one signature offer that becomes the thing people know you for, return to you for, and invest in again and again. Okay? So why doesn't this hustle style, low ticket, lots of different offers approach actually create recurring revenue? Well, because recurring revenue, like we said, requires depth, not variety. First of all, low ticket offers feel really safe and exciting because they produce quick hits of validation. A sale here, a sale there, and for a moment, it looks like things are quote unquote working, but low ticket stacking rarely creates true sustainability, and here's why. The volume required is unsustainable. So to replace even a modest monthly income, you need a high number of buyers every single month for a low ticket offer. That means constantly selling, constant visibility, and constant audience growth. Most early stage coaches do not yet have the systems, the audience size, or the energy capacity to maintain that volume without burning out. So essentially, unless your audience is packed of people who are going to buy from you, this doesn't work in the beginning. Now, low ticket buyers are also not usually long-term buyers. These purchases are often more compulsive, they're more curiosity driven, or they're based on a very single specific pain point, which is all fine and good, but they don't necessarily translate into clients who are wanting to commit to integrate your methodology or move through a longer transformation. So this means that you're always starting over instead of cultivating really deep, ongoing relationships. And I want to be very clear with you. I do believe there is a point in your coaching business where you will be able to introduce short-term offers to allow people kind of a taste test of what it's like to work with you. But in the beginning, when you're working on recurring revenue, we really want to focus on that one signature offer. Now, second, Too many offers are going to begin to dilute your authority and also your messaging, because having multiple offers can feel productive. It feels like you're giving people options, you're meeting different needs and increasing the chance that someone buys something. And yes, that will come down the line. But in the early and mid stages of your business, when you are getting that solid base of recurring revenue, too many offers almost always dilute your authority and make your messaging muddy, because your audience cannot clearly identify what you're known for. When you're talking about 5 different things you can help with across multiple price points, your audience cannot quickly answer the question, what does she help people do? What's her deal? And if they can't answer it, they will not confidently buy from you. Authority grows when people can describe you in one concise, confident sentence. And also, your messaging is going to become really scattered instead of strategic. Now, each offer requires its own promise, its own pain points, its own outcomes, objections, stories, proof, all the things. And they may all be for the same ideal client, but each offer in itself is going to require all of these things. When you are juggling around too many promises, too many offers, your content tends to become more broad and vague, and it's constantly shifting back and forth. This erodes clarity, and clarity is the foundation of demand. Now, your energy gets split too instead of getting deepened, because every offer, like we just said, needs marketing, it needs nurturing, it needs a delivery process, onboarding, results tracking, client support, all of the things. And when your attention is divided across multiple different things, you never build the refined experience that turns your signature offer into the obvious choice. So when you're constantly creating new programs, you never give one offer enough time to build recognition, to build reputation, and to build that demand. You're resetting the game every time you launch. You're rebuilding that belief from zero every time you introduce a new offer, and you're starting a whole new sales cycle instead of letting one strong offer just begin to compound over time. And it is not that these offers are not good, okay? It's that no one knows which one to pay attention to. Your audience is watching, but they're confused about what you really do when you're jumping all over the place and what problem you solve, how they can work with you in the most impactful way. And confused people, we know, do not buy. So the more you split your energy between ideas, programs, and marketing angles, the less momentum each one gets. It's like trying to water 6 plants with one tiny cup, right? You give a little to everything, but nothing's really actually getting what it needs or getting a chance to actually grow. Recurring revenue comes from roots, not branches all over the place. And you cannot build stability on constant reinvention. You build stability through repetition, refinement, and your reputation. And here's the deeper reason why it's not working. You aren't giving people enough time, exposure, or belief to say yes to your best work, because you're already on to the next thing. Recurring revenue requires a foundation your audience can recognize and remember and come back to time and time again. Right now, you're building sideways. What we need to do is grow down, build those roots. Now, a little disclaimer about how I love being creative in my business. I love micro offers. I love having different ways for clients to come into my world at different price points. But I only started incorporating these micro offers when I had filled my signature offer and I got really good at selling it. And I understand this may take a little bit of time. And the reason why coaches have a hard time with this is because we want results and we want them now. So this waiting game, as things begin to compound, is not always the easiest, but I promise it is worth it. So if recurring revenue doesn't come from more offers and more hustle and more moving parts and more things, what actually creates it? Well, you build recurring revenue by going deeper, not wider. You choose one signature offer, the one you want to be known for, the one that reflects your best work, the one that you love delivering, and the offer that's getting people results. And you make that home base. You anchor onto that. That is going to be your engine that drives the recurring revenue and also drives this phase in your business. So instead of creating a new program every time you want income or a cash injection, you're going to focus on filling the one that you already have. And I know this can get tricky. Like I said, when you are an impatient person and you want things to happen fast, because this truly can take a second, but it is completely worth it and requires a massive amount of self-trust because you're able to hold yourself in those moments when you're wondering, will this fill? Is anybody listening? Is this working? Who's going to pay me for this? Because here's what happens when you go deeper with one signature offer, you are truly able to refine the messaging, sharpen the transformation, and talk about it again and again and again until your ideal client doesn't just understand it. She desires it and she sees it and she wants it. You build demand around one clear solution instead of spreading belief across 10 different ideas. When you focus on one signature offer, your message gets way clearer, your audience knows what you do and who it's for, your sales process becomes way simpler, your results get stronger, and naturally clients stay longer, renew more often, and refer more people your way. And if that sounds like a load off of your shoulders, keep listening here, right? Because you're gonna go from chasing new buyers all the time to keeping and compounding the ones you already have and the ones who already trust you. You're no longer now starting from scratch each month. You are stacking demand and building a reputation. And you're becoming known for a transformation, not a menu of a bunch of different low-ticket things. This is when recurring revenue starts to become real, not because you're working more, but because your business finally has a system that compounds over time. One offer becomes your foundation. Everything else becomes the icing on the cake. It's optional and it's fun, but it's not required and you are not scrambling. A single signature offer is going to become a scalable asset because it's going to concentrate your time, expertise, and repetition into one powerful container that's going to get better every time you deliver it. And let me be very clear here. When I say one signature offer, that signature offer could very well be one-to-one coaching. It doesn't necessarily have to be a one-to-many offer, but that experience with those one-to-one clients across the same offer is going to create for you a very clear picture of how the system and how the offer can be scalable. So instead of spreading your energy across multiple programs, you refine one pathway so deeply that the results become very predictable. The messaging becomes way more clear and demand grows naturally. Your audience begins to associate you with a specific transformation, which strengthens your authority and shortens the time it takes someone to buy. And once this offer is proven and documented and repeatable and you have social proof, you can scale it through group delivery, through systems, through content, or team support, whatever that looks like for you, without needing to reinvent your business every single quarter. Now let's talk about the math of filling one offer versus selling 10 different offers at a time. Filling one offer is dramatically easier and more profitable than trying to sell 10 different offers because the numbers compound instead of compete. So when you focus on a single offer, every piece of content, every conversation, and every warm lead is going to point to the same destination, which means your effort works in a straight line. 10 offers are going to split that same energy that you have into 10 tiny little streams, requiring 10 different sets of messaging, 10 different audiences, and 10 times the volume to even hit that income goal. So one offer creates clear demand, simpler marketing, and predictable conversions. 10 offers create confusion and constant hustle. So the math is always going to favor the more focused pathway, and not only the math, but your sanity too, I promise. Now, don't worry, I have this mapped out for you. It's the 3-step formula for creating recurring revenue with one signature offer. Again, that signature offer can absolutely be one-to-one coaching. It does not have to be a one-to-many program. This is the foundation. If you can master these 3 steps, your revenue inside your online coaching business becomes repeatable instead of reactive. And that's exactly what we want for you. So step number 1 is to build an offer worth returning to. Recurring revenue starts with transformation, not tactics or logistics. You need an offer that clients want to stay inside of because it actually moves them forward, not just an educational product, but an actual results container, something that helps them change their life or business in a measurable, meaningful, life-changing way. Now, this step is truly about refinement and positioning and clarity, because to build a recurring worthy signature offer, you have to ask yourself these questions. What exact problem does this offer solve? Why is this the most effective path to solving it? What's the tangible outcome someone's going to walk away with, the transformation, and how long does it realistically take for that transformation to happen? The more precise the transformation, the easier it is to enroll and retain your clients. And an offer becomes scalable and recurring when the process is repeatable, the transformation is very obvious, the delivery supports results, and the experience is strong enough that clients want more. Your signature offer should feel like the core of your body of work, the place where you send everyone if you could only run one program or one offer, because that's where recurring revenue begins. Now, if you're wondering where to start when it comes to a signature offer, I have an entire program that goes in depth into creating a signature offer, and I will place the link for that inside the show notes for you to check out. It's called Sold Out Signature Offer, and it is an awesome program. Now, step 2 is to fill that offer first, then refine, repeat, and compound. Most coaches try to scale quickly and too soon. So they begin tweaking instead of mastering, and they create instead of refine. So they sell something once and then move into the next idea before demand has time to really build. But recurring revenue isn't created through expansion, it's created through repetition. So you fill the offer fully before building or selling anything else. You enroll clients, get that base, walk them through your process, get data, get results, get feedback, get proof. And then instead of launching something new, you run it again, because familiarity creates trust, repetition creates authority, and authority creates demand, and demand compounds. Every round is going to get clearer. Every round gets easier to sell. Every round produces more proof that brings the next one in. You're no longer starting from scratch. You are stacking belief. So it's fill, refine, repeat. You get to that recurring. This is how a signature offer becomes a revenue engine instead of a one-time launch. And this is where, once you've got this in place, you head into step number 3, which is create a retention and renewal ecosystem. So many people forget about this step. Now, recurring revenue does not come from getting more clients. It comes from keeping the right ones. When your offer works, clients naturally want to continue. Your job is to provide a path, a continuation, a next level, a deeper layer of work or support after they've moved through that signature offer. Retention is also where your income becomes way more predictable. Now, this can look like a lot of different things. It could look like renewals into the same offer again, so clients wanting to repeat. An extended version of the program, ongoing support through a mastermind or a membership at the end of that program, a one-to-one continuation pathway for even deeper work, or even like a graduate track or an alumni situation or an advanced tier. The key question here really is, where do you want her to go after she gets the results? When there is a clear next step, your revenue no longer resets to 0 every 90 days. Clients are going to stay, they're going to deepen, they recommit to themselves, they become long-term partners in their growth instead of one-time transactions. And it's another thing to think about too, is how long your containers are. If you're working with a 4-week container or a 6-week container or even an 8-week container, it's a quick turnaround. Think about the transformation and how long that true transformation is going to take. Is it going to take 6 months? Is it going to take a year, even longer, or somewhere in between? Now, recurring revenue lives in retention, and retention lives in results. And results start with one offer done exceptionally well that you can get behind and you can confidently deliver, sell, talk about. it all works together. Now, filling one signature offer first is like building a really strong foundation before decorating your house. So you can hang cute curtains and put the trendy pillows in and, buy all the seasonal decor if you want. But if the actual foundation and the walls and floors are not solid, none of that matters. The house is not going to feel stable. It's not going to feel homey. You're not going to feel grounded in it, and you'll constantly be fixing things instead of really truly settling in. Your signature offer, you guys, is the foundation. It holds the structure, the weight, and the long-term vision of your business. Low ticket and short-term offers are the decor. They're fun, expressive, they're useful, but only when the house underneath is sturdy. If you decorate before you build the base, everything is going to be a little bit off and it's going to be a little wobbly, right? But when you build the foundation first, everything else you add works and contributes to your business ecosystem and to your offer suite. Now, let me share a little example of this. A client came to me with a ton of mini offers. So she had templates, workshops, intensives, a $27 course, and a monthly low ticket membership. And she was constantly promoting something. None of it really added consistent income. So every month she felt like she was starting from ground zero, and it was very, very stressful. So we simplified everything down to one signature transformation and built a single core offer around that. So instead of pitching 5 different things, she spent 90 days refining and speaking to this same pathway in the same offer. She spoke to the woman she helps, the promise she delivers, and the method that she uses inside that offer. Her content became way more clear. Her audience finally started to understand what she was known for, and warm leads started reaching out because the messaging felt a lot more stable and a lot more specific. So by month 3, by that 90-day mark, she had filled the first round of the signature offer. She had 8 clients at a 4-month commitment, and that alone created recurring revenue she could count on for the entire quarter plus a little bit more. So with that foundation in place, she wasn't just scrambling for sales anymore. When she eventually added a low ticket workshop, it didn't have to carry the business. It simply warmed more leads for the signature offer and gave them a place to go after they were done with those low ticket offers. Now, this is exactly where my 3-phase signature momentum method comes into play, because everything we just talked about becomes so much simpler when you understand how to build, fill, and sustain one powerful offer in a way that creates predictability, retention, and recurring revenue. And this is truly just one part of the bigger picture, because when you put the momentum method into place, building, filling, and sustaining one powerful offer becomes simple, and it easily creates predictability, retention, and recurring revenue. Now, in phase 1 of the momentum method, we turn your perfection into power, because feeling confident as a business owner isn't about silencing your inner perfection or fixing your people pleasing or pretending you don't care about doing things well. It is about channeling those high standards strategically so they speed up your growth instead of stalling it. So we unhook from the pressure to prove and perform or over deliver, and instead use that drive for excellence to create easy momentum inside your business. Trust me, it is way easier to create and fill a signature offer when you are not letting the perfectionism slow you down. Phase 2 inside the momentum method is cultivating unstoppable self-trust, but not just any trust. The key to having a booked out business isn't actually about a certain number of clients or revenue. It's about identifying the gap between how you're showing up now and how the booked out version of yourself would be showing up. Once we identify those gaps, we incrementally start filling those gaps by aligning your habits, focus, and strategy with the version of you who's already booked out. This ultimately allows your business to catch up to the identity and income you are ready for. And it creates a massive amount of self-trust so that when you're selling and filling your signature offer, the quiet moments don't freak you out and make you think you should go back to creating another $27 low ticket workbook to get people into your world. And finally, phase 3 inside the momentum method is creating values-driven strategy. because building a sustainable long-term business isn't about the right strategy or doing what everyone else is doing or doing what your mentor does just because it worked for her. It's about having a content marketing and sales strategy that aligns with you, with your values, that fits your life and supports the people and the priorities that matter most to you. So when you are creating, selling, and filling your signature offer to create recurring revenue, you're doing it in a way that feels aligned to you and your life. The momentum method has been transformative and the key to unlocking my clients' businesses and lives, and has them going from saying, Sandy, I am doing so much work and nothing seems to be working, to sending me screenshot after screenshot of wins. Wins like launching their signature offer with ease and filling those spots faster than they even expected because their message was fully aligned with their identity and with the transformation. We've built long-term client relationships that have turned into renewals and extended contracts, year-long contracts, giving them more predictability and stability month after month. And they've had their highest revenue months ever, not by working more hours or posting more content, but by simplifying their sales process and trusting their strategy. If you're sitting here thinking, this really resonates, Sandy, and I really get it, and recurring revenue is exactly what I need, and I want to see what this can look like to create this inside my business, you have two options. You can book your absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. On this call, we're going to take a look at your current life and business structure, identify where your gaps are, and I'll show you how to close those gaps so you can get better results with less effort by working smarter and focusing your time on what actually moves the needle forward. The link for that growth gap audit call is in the show notes. Or if you've been around for a while and you know what I'm all about and you are ready to go all in, you can apply for my mastermind space or for private coaching. The link for those is in the show notes too. Now make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hit home, please consider leaving a review, hitting those stars, and sending it to your biz bestie who is also ready to build recurring revenue the right way. I will see you next time. Mwah. If you are sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, this episode was made for me, you have two options. You can book your absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. On this call, we'll take a look at your current life and business structure, identify where your gaps are, and show you how to close those gaps so you can get better results with less effort by working smarter and focusing your time on what actually moves the needle forward. The link is in the show notes for you. Or if you're ready to go from one-off wins to repeatable revenue with structure, strategy, and sales that support your life and keep dream clients coming back and your calendar full without burning out, you can apply to work together by clicking the link in the show notes. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hits home, please consider leaving a review, hitting those stars, and sending it to your biz bestie who's also ready to build a life and business on purpose. I'll see you next time.